Hey, if you're a 40 and over content creator, you're especially going to want to watch this. But if you're really worried about all of these new restrictions and these new thresholds for YouTube, as well as this just glut of AI video that you think is going to put you out of the content business, you need to watch this video because I've got the antidote for you. And it's a lot simpler than you think. And you've actually already got it. So in this video, I'm going to show you, number one, how to not worry about these new guidelines that YouTube is putting into effect in February. And I'm also going to show you how to beat AI. And by the way, before we get into all this, if you want to check out our school community where I teach you step-by-step how to do this, all you need to do is click the link in my bio and you can get a 7-day free trial, after which it's only $7 a month, and there's no long-term commitment. So the first thing is you don't need to worry about YouTube because if you focus on the right metrics, you don't care what their new thresholds are. Their new metrics focus on views and followers. Right now, you need 1,000 followers and you need 4,000 watch hours to get monetized by YouTube. And there's no guarantee hitting those thresholds is going to get you there. But what if you didn't need to worry about either one of those things because you measured things in a completely different way? If I was concerned about getting monetized by the platform, I could be really depressed about these numbers. Yes, I have hit the 1,000-person threshold for subscribers, but I'm nowhere near close to the 4,000 watch hours that it would require to get monetized by YouTube. But here's why I don't care about that, because I don't focus on viewers or subs. I focus on getting the exact right people to watch my videos so I can get those exact right people to my school community. And if you don't know what school is, this is what it is. It's a place that you actually own. And by owning the room, you don't worry about the vanity metrics. This platform has you focusing on getting paid for attention. Whereas if you show expertise and you show knowledge and you show skill that you can solve a problem and you can help get somebody from point A to point B, you can get paid for expertise, not attention. Now, you've probably heard lots of people talk about this, but you have to monetize your knowledge, because if you monetize your knowledge, you're solving problems. And if you're solving problems, you're creating value. And that's what people pay for. People pay for value. They don't pay for products. They don't pay for courses. They don't pay for services. They pay for the value of getting these problems solved. And all you need to do is take somebody from a current state of point A where they're not happy to a state of point B where they are happy. And there's only 6 steps involved in that process. The first thing you have to do, because most people aren't aware, is you have to make them problem aware by identifying the problem that they have. Then you want to help them figure out why they have the problem. But if they know the problem they have, but they don't know why they have the problem, they're lost just as much. Then you help apply what you know about the problem. And by explaining it to them the right way, you can get them to take action. You have already become a very valuable person to them. And then with that value, especially if you give it all away for free on YouTube and then just give them a place to go get more, then they want to pay you. And when you can get them to get a quick win based on the free stuff you're giving them on YouTube, then they are achieving a little bit of results. And they say to themselves naturally, if this stuff is this good for free, can you imagine how much quicker I would solve my problem, or how many of the related problems to this I would solve if I actually paid this person just a little bit of money every single month? How you beat YouTube is by turning your content into a front door, but having a school community on the back end as your storefront so people can actually pay you to get real results. So the next thing is, how do we defeat all this glut of AI content? And that's simply, you use knowledge you already have. See, as a 40+ person who has been through life, you've been kicked in the teeth and you've overcome challenges and you've suffered setbacks and you've experienced wins. You have experience that AI cannot duplicate. AI doesn't know your background. AI doesn't know your history. AI doesn't know your wins, your losses, your struggles, your overcoming. It doesn't have any of that knowledge that it can draw upon. It can only give vague examples of things that people can spot a mile away are fake. But you, as a 40+ person, you have probably had a career. You have probably overcome some sort of personal problem in your life, and you've probably also been involved in some sort of passion or hobby that you love talking about. With all 3 of these is you need to show that you are good at it, you need to have proof you're good at it, and you need to like helping people with it on a daily basis. And you can turn that, unlike what our parents used to tell us, you can turn something you love into your main source of income eventually. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but you can build a community of people that are equally as passionate about that thing, and they will be willing to pay you every month to learn what you know about that subject. And before you say, well, I'm no subject matter expert, I understand that, but you don't have to be. So the easiest way for me to explain this to you, how you don't need to have a TED Talk or a best-selling book or a award-winning podcast, is There was a movie called Catch Me If You Can, and it was Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. And Tom Hanks played a federal agent, and Leonardo DiCaprio played this really young but really sharp scam artist. One of the scams that he ran was getting a job at age 18 as a college professor, where he was teaching people 3 or 4 years older than him about a subject at a university. And once he was caught, they asked him, how in the heck were you able to teach people that are 5 years older than you? He said, I just read 1 or 2 chapters ahead in the book before I was going to teach the lesson. And you can do the same thing. Be a step or two, maybe 3 ahead. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to be 20 steps ahead, because then they won't relate to you and they won't believe you. But if you're just a couple steps ahead of them, they see that as a point they can reach. And so they're likely to relate to you, like you, and want to learn from you, because they realize it wasn't that long ago you were where they are now. So the best way to combat all this AI is just use what you naturally have, which is experience. And you can choose any of these 3 buckets of knowledge that you want to, and you can create a place that you own. So this allows you to defeat the YouTube changes and combat AI all at the same time. Now, if you want to know how to set one of these up for yourself, I suggest you go ahead and watch this next video right here up in the left-hand corner, and it will show you how quickly you can set up one of these school paid communities.